Okay, Chris. Now, from the...
Morgan. Guys?
Okay, Chris. Now, from the friendly confines of Wrigley Field in our 9th season, it's ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball. Tonight, slugger Chipper Jones and the Atlanta Braves take on Mark Grace and the Chicago Cubs. The wind is blowing in at Wrigley Field, Chicago. A beautiful night for baseball. And Sunday Night Baseball brings you the Cubs and the Atlanta Braves. In the National League Central, the Astros lost today at Colorado, and so the Cubs are only 2.5 out with a chance to gain ground. Meanwhile, in the Eastern Division, the red-hot Mets won their 9th in a row and suddenly are a threat to the Braves for the top spot. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller, along with Joe Morgan, and welcome to Wrigley Field and Sunday Night Baseball. Tonight, the Braves are in a very strange position. They have lost 3 consecutive games, including 2 to these Cubs. And nonetheless, they have a great record, 39-17, and that's the best in the league. And this is a ball club with great pitching, but also great hitting. With the addition of Andres Galarraga, they suddenly have emerged as one of the great power teams in all of baseball.
Well, John, a lot of people are starting to whisper that this may be the best Braves team ever. And the real reason is Andres Galarraga in the middle. Last year, they had an all left-handed power lineup with McGriff in the middle and Klesko and Chipper Jones, all left-handers. Now with Andres Galarraga in there, it breaks up that left-handed power and it adds some right-handed strength. Plus, he plays great defense at first base. And remember 2 things. They've also added Walt Weiss, who is hitting very well for them. And to think of this, John, Andrew Jones is getting better. This could be a scary lineup because, remember, they also have Javi Lopez. He is 300. So you could go on and on about this Braves offense, and probably we'll be doing that before the season's over because I think they'll get better as the season progresses.
Almost everybody in that lineup can hurt you. Now, Kevin Tapani will get the call for the Cubs tonight, and the Chicago team with a sweep of this series. If they win tonight, they'll sweep a 3-game series from Atlanta in this ballpark for the first time in 9 years.
Well, I think Kerry Woods jump starts them every 5th day, and I think he really jump-started their season for them. And if you look back, they've got Morandini here now from Philly. They've got Jeff Blauser. Those two have meshed very, very well together. They add strength up the middle, plus they have Mark Grace and Sammy Sosa. So this is a pretty good Cubs team.
All right. They'll have to do without Sosa tonight. He hurt his thumb on Thursday and is still out of action. But Grace is in there. We've got a beautiful night at the ballpark. A big crowd is gathering. It's the Cubs and the Braves. Neagle versus Tapani next.
Why is America on America Online?
ESPN Sunday Night Baseball is brought to you by America Online. So easy to use. No wonder it's #1. At Wrigley Field in Chicago, Sunday Night Baseball. The Braves, first place in the East, and the Cubs, second place in the Central, having at it Bobby Cox, who has had just nothing but success as the manager of the Atlanta Braves. They have been at or near the top every year since 1991, and they've got the best record that they've ever had after 56 games right now. Here's the Pepsi Braves batting order. Ozzie Guillen, formerly a star on the south side of Chicago with the Sox, at shortstop. Keith Lockhart at second base. Chipper Jones, third base. The big cat, Andres Galarraga, at first base. Second in the league in home runs at the start of the day, and also in RBIs. There's some other developments since the day began, but you get the picture. He's had a great year. Ryan Klesko, the powerful left fielder. Javi Lopez, the outstanding catcher. Michael Tucker having a fine year in right field, and Andrew Jones, the young prodigy in center field, hits 8. Denny Neagle is on the mound. And pitching for the Chicago Cubs, trying to get him to sweep, is the veteran right-hander Kevin Tapani.
And Kevin Tapani, one of his strengths is his good control, but he throws a sinker, a slider, and he's been really working on a changeup. He's had some problems with his finger the last couple of years. He doesn't throw his splitter as often, but he used to have a good splitter. And let's take a look at the defense behind him. Completely new up the middle there. Look at Jeff Blauser is now the shortstop coming over from Atlanta. Mickey Morandini coming over from the Phillies. They've really added some stability up the middle. They play well together. And Morandini is just having a great year offensively. There you see Jeff Blauser. He made a game-saving catch yesterday and turned it into a double play. Caught a line drive off the bat of Ryan Klesko, turned it into a double play, and the Cubbies won. And Morandini, there you see him at second base. I always felt he was one of the most underrated players in this league. Good second baseman, good player.
And there is a familiar face to baseball fans in Chicago, Ozzie Guillen, who for years was the anchor at shortstop for the Chicago White Sox. Now he's moved across town via Baltimore. And just for this weekend across town, because he's now backing up Walt Weiss at short for the Atlanta Braves. He bunts one foul. Weiss has got a little hamstring problem, and he might be back as early as tomorrow, but it's hampered in the last 10 days or so. There's Walt Weiss, and would be available if they needed a pinch hitter late in the game.
Down Andres Galarraga and the guys were teasing Ozzie again and say you couldn't get to play in Baltimore. Now you're here, you're playing every day. And Ozzie said, yeah, I'm a little tired. This will be my 18th inning in a row.
1 ball, 1 strike. He goes up to Hacken. I mean, he was always infamous with the White Sox for his lack of walks. But he's still a very fine shortstop, particularly in this role, coming off the bench, and they feel like they've really helped their depth. And that's a foul out of play. He hardly played in Baltimore behind Mike Bordick, and he only had 1 hit in 18 at-bats, so he hardly ever got to the plate. And finally the Orioles felt they needed to add a pitcher, and they cut him loose. And the Atlanta Braves swooped in and said, okay, we'll take him. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That is a foul ball. Mark Grace to Tapani covering. Very nicely done, but it doesn't count. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ozzie Guillen. Now, people in Chicago can have their loyalties divided tonight. This is, of course, a great baseball town, great Cubs town right now. But the conference final is also going on here in the city of Chicago. So they're keeping track of that as well. The Pacers and the Bulls are going at it, and the folks, in addition to watching the ball game from across the street out there in left field, trying to keep the folks inside here informed as to the goings-on at the United Center. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ozzie Guillen. Jim Riggleman, and some feel that he's sort of under the gun this year. After all of the improvements that they made in this ball club, they're expected to be in it all the way. And Guillen is down on strikes.
That's a good low fastball there from Tapani. He had thrown him a couple of high fastballs, but he gets good velocity on the low and good movement. And you see the target, and he hits the target. Nice pitch there. And Guillen swings right over the top of it.
Now Keith Lockhart comes up. And Keith Lockhart, it seems like he's just an overnight sensation with this Atlanta ball club. They got him last year from Kansas City. Lockhart hitting .303, 4 homers, 18 batted in, taking the slider for a strike. He's one of those overnight sensations, Joe, who spent 9 years in the minor leagues.
Well, if you watch him, when I first saw him play last year, especially in the playoffs last year, I mean, he is a real good fastball hitter. So you see Tapani starting him off with a breaking ball, but he misses the fastball here. Now it's 0-2. But he's a very good fastball hitter.
1-2.
And a pretty smart hitter at the plate. He knows his strengths and his weaknesses, and he stays within himself. He knows that the fastball is what he's got to hit, and that's usually what he picks on.
Keith Lockhart is signed out of college for a bonus of $3,000. And he said he was a senior in college. He said, I didn't have much bargaining power. And he went to Billings, Montana in the Pioneer League And he and 3 teammates stayed in the same room with a family in bunk beds. Along the right field line, Miske gets there in foul territory. Lockhart retired.
Good pitching there by Tapani. He threw him a couple of fastballs after the first pitch slider, fastball for a strike, and then a fastball low, and he came back with a changeup, and he had Lockhart out in front. And this is a nice play by Miske, because remember, that's a concrete wall over there, and it runs out of room pretty quickly there. You see the padding on that wall, but that's a difficult play down the right field line, and then especially in the corner.
Now Chipper Jones. Now back to the screen. Chipper Jones comes in with 14 home runs, 46 RBIs. You see 5th in homers, 4th in RBIs. Also a .333 average. The leader on and off the field for the Braves. There's the changeup. Beauty. Strike 2.
Yeah, people that have watched Chipper Jones from the beginning of his career, they will note that Chipper Jones has improved each and every year. He's becoming a better player, a better hitter, and a smarter hitter. His numbers continue to improve every year.
Off the outside of the fastball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. If Jones could get aboard, Andres Galarraga would swing. He's on deck. 2 down, nobody on. Right there. Strike 3 call. Fastball got him looking. An excellent first inning for Tapani. 3 up and 3 down. Lowry, then Morandini, and that man, Mark Grace, coming up. Out front, about a half hour before game time. Meanwhile, back inside the friendly confines, here's the Pepsi batting order for the Chicago Cubs. Terrell Lowry leads off in center field. Brad Brown getting the night off against a left-hander. Mickey Morandini at second. Mark Grace hits third at first base, and he's been muscling up here lately. He has 6 home runs in one 10-game stretch. Jeff Blauser hits cleanup against his old club. Matt Miske in right field with Sammy Sosa out with a thumb injury. Henry Rodriguez still hitting a lot of home runs for his new ball club. Manny Alexander at third. Scott Service, the catcher, hitting 8th, and Kevin Tapani, he is on the mound. Pitching for Atlanta, veteran left-hander, a 7-game winner, Denny Neagle.
And Denny Neagle reminds you a lot of Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux in that he uses his fastball well, moves it around, and he uses the changeup to keep you off balance. And he throws an occasional slider and a curveball, but basically he's fastball changeup.
29 years of age. Terrell Lowry leads it off. First ball swinging down the right field line. Michael Tucker running out of room and makes the catch. That's just what you were talking about earlier, Joe.
That's a tough play down there. I mean, and let's take a look at the defense. Nice play there by Tucker. Let's take a look at it. And here's the defense. When you win a championship, win your division, it's unusual to replace 3 players on your infield, but this is 3 new starters. Lockhart, of course, was there last year, but he wasn't a starter. Galarraga starts at first, and now Ozzie Guillen at shortstop. But even if Ozzie wasn't there, Walt Weiss would be a new addition.
Mickey Morandini, the former Philly, takes a strike. It is 0-1. Now, Morandini's just been outstanding. He is hitting .333 and getting lots of walks on top of that. However, as he takes a curve for strike 2, he is only hitting .167 against left-handed pitching. So he's been murdering right-handers, apparently. Curveball. Bloops. Guillen can't quite get to it. Now that ball had some action on it. A little spinner out there. Guillen turned about 3 different ways going after it and couldn't quite get there.
And I'm sure Morandini is saying that makes up for a couple of those line drives I hit off the left-handers that they've been able to catch. There's a slider away. Now this is a slider. It'll be going away toward the outside corner. See the movement. He gets it right off the end of the bat. And what that means, it curves away from Ozzie. It started over Ozzie's left shoulder, and by the time he turned back, it was over his right shoulder. So very difficult play for Ozzie Guillen to make, and so he goes as a base hit.
It was a hitter's equivalent of a sweeping curveball.
Yeah.
Here's Mark Grace now. misses for ball one. Grace is hitting .337, and he is showing more power right now than he's really ever shown.
Well, I had a conversation with him before the game about why, and he says he's finishing his swing now. And I will explain that to you as we go along, but he called this finishing his swing. He said he always hit to the ball, and therefore he wasn't finishing it. Now he's finishing it, but in my terms, what he's actually saying is that he's extending through the ball. He's getting more extension, which creates a little bit more bat speed, which gives you an opportunity to drive the ball a bit more. Extension, if you watch most of your sluggers, they all get good extension through the ball. And that's what Grace is getting now, a little more extension. But in his terms, or what he's thinking, he's finishing his swing rather than stopping it.
On the outside from Neagle, 3-1. Well, Grace has never hit more than 16 home runs in a season.
And that's in Wrigley Field,
where it's a home run hitter's park.
Exactly.
Although maybe not so much tonight with the wind blowing in. He got 7, and he had 6 in a 10-game period. Left field, Ryan Klesko. And that is out number 2. Morandini goes back to first.
And let's take a look at, this is what you see is left. Now watch it from the pitcher's hand. There's a release right on the outside corner. Good pitch. Mark Grace has to go the other way, and he does. That's what makes the Atlanta Braves pitching staff so tough. He was behind 3-0 through a strike. Now he's still behind 3-1, but he got the outside corner. Normally 3-1 becomes a cripple pitch. But with the Atlanta Braves staff, it is not a cripple pitch.
Jeff Blauser, fastball, a strike. It's 0-1. Blauser finished up his Braves career with one of his best years last year, hitting over 300, but he has not been able to find that same groove so far with his new ball club. Struggling, .236 average, only 1 homer and only 9 runs batted in for the Cubs. No score, 2 down. Change up from Neagle, and that misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the Cubs are really missing Sammy Sosa, particularly against a tough left-hander. That right-handed power back. So this is kind of a makeshift lineup tonight, put in there by Jim Riggleman. He's hopeful that Sosa might be back as early as by tomorrow. Chase the changeup.
Well, they had a makeshift lineup yesterday, John. They scored 9 runs, I guess, off the Braves staff. So that's why they're doing a good job. That's why they've won the first 2 ball games of this series. They're getting production from other people. Sammy Sosa hurt his thumb when he tripped around in third base.
Another changeup. Well, it was working for him, and he just stayed with it. 3 swings and misses on changeup by Blauser. Coming up now, Galarraga, Klesko, and Lopez. The big power coming up for Atlanta. No score in the game.
You'll whistle too when
Chicago. Beautiful night, the last day of May, 1998. And here is Gato Grande, the big cat, Andres Galarraga. And he has really been bigger in terms of his production than he has been so far this year with Atlanta. Tampany the pitcher, and the count goes to 2-0.
It was interesting, John. A lot of people felt when he moved out of Colorado that he would, his numbers would suffer because they said, well, he gets a lot of help from that ballpark. He's proven that it wasn't the ballpark that helped him put up those big numbers. I mean, he is just a very fine hitter. And you see that stance he has. He hits from a wide open stance, which gives him a chance to look directly at the pitcher with both eyes. It's something he started with Don Baylor, the manager.
A bloop into shallow right center. And Morandini on the run.
Nice play there by Mickey. Well, he got jammed. He broke his bat. That shows you how strong he is. He was still able to get that ball into the outfield. And it was a tough play for Morandini. He's trying to get out there, keep it in sight, and he makes the catch.
Morandini, he's been getting it done for a long time. Here's Ryan Klesko. Big cut at that one. The breaking ball, he didn't get it.
And I was saying Don Baylor, the manager of the Rockies, helped Andres Galarraga when they were both with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Baylor became the manager in Colorado in the first year of expansion, and they signed Galarraga partly at Don Baylor's request. And, of course, he became the first big superstar in the Rockies history. Don Baylor was none too pleased either. I have the feeling he felt betrayed when Galarraga left.
One of the things I have heard is that, you know, Colorado, of course, feels maybe they made a mistake now because, you know, they let Andres go, so to speak. You know, they didn't meet his asking price because they had the young first baseman Todd Helton, who they thought was ready, and I'm sure he's going to be a fine player, but it's hard to replace Andres Galarraga.
High in the air to center field. Lowry, plenty of room out there. And that is out number 2. The wind is blowing in from right field off the lakefront.
But it still will carry to left field. So the left-handers are the ones that are going to have to really drive it to get it out of here. You can see that is going towards left center field so a little bit, coming off the right field line.
2 down, Javi Lopez. Lopez, who just signed a new contract extension, although ever since then has struggled with the bat. 1 hit and 12 at bats since he signed his new contract. Nonetheless, 12 homers and 40 runs batted in.
A very good player, a solid player. But I guess sometimes, John, you know, you've got all that wallet. The wallet gets a little heavy. It's hard to swing sometimes. But he is a good player. There's Bobby Cox. He really likes Javi Lopez. And I think the Atlanta Braves organization showed they have a lot of faith in Javi to sign him to the long-term contract as a reward for what he's done and the improvement that he has continued to make over the years.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Javi Lopez, one of 3 Braves with 40 RBIs or more. And we're talking about a third of the way into the season. I mean, they got 3 guys who, if they kept doing it all year, would have 120 RBIs or more each.
And on top of that, they have 4 guys with 7 wins. They could have 4 20-game winners.
Yeah.
So this could be just a dynamic season for the Atlanta Braves if everything stays on track.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Down and away. Ryan Klesko hadn't even really gotten himself going yet. Klesko has struggled for much of the early part of the season. And it may have more power than all of them. That slider just misses off the corner. Pretty good eye there by Javi Lopez. 3-2 to count. 2 down, nobody on. The Braves have yet to put a man on base against Kevin Tapani. Fastball to the inside, fouled away. 3-2. Pham made a nice catch down there in the lower deck. Michael Tucker would be next. Yeah, got the souvenir. Gee, Dad, you're the greatest.
Now, how am I going to split it 3 ways?
That's a base hit to right center. Javi Lopez just shortened up on his stroke there finally to get himself a base hit.
Well, the key to that at bat was he laid off the 2 pitches just off the outside corner and got the 3-2. Now, this pitch is going to be up and over the plate. See it move back towards the middle of the plate. And he stays right out there with it and lines it to right field. Good hitting there by Javi Lopez.
Now, Michael Tucker, he's another Brave who's off to a great start. He's got 9 homers and 31 RBIs with a .293 average. That's low for a ball.
He also got a little bigger over the winter. His upper body, he's strengthened himself, and so he's got 9 early home runs. So you can expect him to hit maybe 20 home runs this year.
No score. 2 down, runner at first. And Tapani. That's it for Tucker and for the Braves. 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the last of the second from Wrigley Field. No score. Henry Rodriguez will be coming up second. Nothing, Cubs nothing as we go to the last of the second at Wrigley Field. Big doubleheader coming up on ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball. These Braves will go back to Milwaukee. First time since the Braves left Milwaukee 33 years ago to take on the Milwaukee Brewers. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. That will be seen on ESPN 2 on the Deuce. And then the second half of the doubleheader, Mark McGwire and the Cardinals take on the Los Angeles Dodgers at Dodger Stadium, 7:30 Pacific, subject to blackout. Check your local listings. That game also will be seen after the hockey playoff game 5. of the Western Conference. Well, it is late afternoon, actually early evening. The sun is just setting. Still a beautiful blue sky overhead.
That's what you love about summer, isn't it? This kind of stays bright for a long time.
Here is Matt Niesky, former Brewer. Shallow right, Michael Tucker.
You're just going to leave that alone?
Well, I like, in summer, I like the beach, but not so much late in the day. I like it earlier in the day.
Okay.
Because late in the day, I'm at the ballpark.
Oh, okay.
That's where you'll find me.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Here's Henry Rodriguez. 11 homers, 31 RBIs. Look out. Tom Gamboa, the third base coach, had to be quick on that one. Yellow, Tom. No score in the game. Denny Neagle on the mound for Atlanta, facing Henry Rodriguez. 11 home runs. And as they once did in Montreal when he became a home run sensation there, lately here at Wrigley Field, they've taken to honor a Henry Rodriguez home run by throwing out Henry candy bars onto the field. 1-2 the count to Henry Rodriguez. Off the fists. Chipper Jones comes out of room. A whole lot of foul territory between the baseline and the dugouts and the grandstand on either side.
That's what makes this a good hitter's ballpark. You're right. There's not much foul territory to catch foul pop-ups like that. A lot of places, that's an easy out. I was looking at the third base coach. Either he has his beeper on or he's wearing a mic for us.
Tom Gamboa.
Look at that. That's either a beeper or one of our mics. It looks like one of our mics. He doesn't look like the beeper type.
So hopefully he'll say something real apropos, and we'll hear from him. Rodriguez chasing the changeup. 0-2 the count. He just got a piece of it.
You know, when you watch Denny Neagle pitch, I mean, it just makes it look so easy. And the same with Greg Maddux. I mean, he just uses his fastball, changes speeds on his fastball, throw you an occasional curve or something else. There's a little slider over the outside, off the outside corner. But, I mean, he just makes it look so easy.
We appreciate Javi Lopez wearing mask cam tonight. Give us those shots, putting us right behind the batter. That changeup too low. 2-2 the count. Javi checking with his dugout before he drops this sign for Denny Neagle. Looked like he was checking to see where Rodriguez was in the batter's box there, Joe. Here it comes. And a little bit low.
Well, they're showing some patience with Neagle, because, I mean, he's throwing pitches just off the corner after he gets ahead of him. There's Leo Mazzoni, the pitching coach, rocking Leo. He's always rocking when his guys are on the mound.
And he pops that one back out of play. Still 3-2 to Henry Rodriguez. Manny Alexander is on deck. Now, the Cubs have not had a big run-producing left-handed hitter for a long, long time, Joe. Their hitting instructor is Billy Williams, probably since Billy Williams.
Yeah.
The changeup with a strikeout. Second strikeout for Neagle. He got Blauser on the changeup in the first inning.
Well, he will throw any pitch at any time. You can see him cup that changeup, put his hand completely around the ball. Good arm speed. Here's the changeup. This is what you see. It looks like a fastball until you swing at it. There you see Rodriguez saying that pitch was a turned it over a little bit. Changeup.
Manny Alexander in the right field. Tucker. And just like that, Cubs are gone. 3 up and 3 down. We're heading to the third inning. Andrew Jones will be coming up. Then Neagle. No score.
I started game with him.
Sunset in Chicago. And Joe, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, tonight it is setting off to the west side of Wrigley Field.
Yeah, because last time we were, I think it was on the east side.
Yeah, I think I had that same trip myself. But Andrew Jones, who comes from the south, even further south of Comiskey Park. He comes from the Southern Caribbean, the island nation of Curacao. High pop-up, Mark Grace. And just like that, Andrew Jones is retired. Andrew came into the game hitting .263, and his average had come way up. I mean, he started off so slowly. There was some thought they might even move him to the minor leagues for a while, but he has really come on lately. But he still is a real free swinger. He's liable to swing at anything up there.
Well, I think it helped him, John, when they moved him out of the leadoff spot. He's not really a leadoff type hitter, and moved him down the lineup, I think, helped.
Denny Neagle. Right to Morandini. Out number 2.
Yeah, but John, when you're a manager, you don't like that. Now the next guy has to take a pitch. I mean, he walks up there and, you know, hits, swings a bat. You like for your pitcher to, you know, take a couple of pitches if you can, because you know Ozzie Guillen doesn't want to take any. And you do not want to give, you know, you do not want Kevin Tappan to have a lot of easy innings.
I mean, Ozzie may not have ever even, probably not even any point giving him the take sign. He probably never, well, the take sign doesn't apply to me. Ozzie Guillen, 2 down, nobody on.
He was taken all the way. See, you know, you just about have to when that happens.
Well, he was taken, but then he hit the throwback. Scott Service tried to throw it back, and actually Service hit the bat of Guillen. Yeah, one way or the other, Joe, he's swinging.
Yeah, you're right. Ozzie doesn't take much, and Chuck E. Card doesn't take either. I know Chuck E. Card doesn't take either.
1 and no strikes to Ozzie. 1 ball, 1 strike now. 2 down, nobody on. Keith Lockhart would be next. Ozzie Guillen struck out his first time. See, he's trying to give him time now.
Yeah, he did his job.
Okay, he took 2 pitches. That's it. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, the point is, the first, you know, Andrew Jones took two pitches to get out. Neagle hit the first pitch, so that would have been 3 pitches. And if he swings and hits the next one, you can let the guy in the inning on a 4-pitch out. Managers really hate that.
1 and 2 to Guillen. 2 and 2. Tappan been around a good long while. He's been involved in some huge trades over the years. He was once traded in a deal that included Frank Viola going to the Mets. Traded in a trade that involved Jesse Orozco. 3-sided trade. Into left field, Guillen is retired. No score as we go to the last of the 3rd in Chicago. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball is brought to you by Gateway. Let's talk about your Gateway. Wrigley Field, Chicago. John Miller, Joe Morgan, your Sunday night telecasters. Cubs coming up with their 8th place hitter, Scott Service, the catcher. And he takes a strike. Kevin Tappan will follow. And then leadoff man Terrell Lowry against Denny Neagle. Too high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Service hitting .219, 3 homers, 10 driven in. Cubs have not gotten a whole lot of production from their catchers. Changeup is too low, 2-1, and there was some rumors that were being floated earlier this week that the Cubs were talking to the Mets about trying to acquire Todd Hundley, who is on the disabled list right now. And that's a foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. However, our Peter Pasquarelli spoke to Ed Lynch, the general manager, as we get a look at that foul tip right off of Mascam there. 2 and 2 being won by Javi Lopez. Anyway, Ed Lynch says that they've not discussed it, and the problem is that Hundley is not available right now because he's not. I mean, what would you be trading for? There's Ed Lynch. And Service serves one into shallow center field for a base hit, and he wonders if by the time Hundley actually is available to play, if it already might be past the trading deadline, which comes at the end of July. because you would not want to trade for him now when he can't even play to help you.
Makes a lot of sense to me.
Here's Kevin Tapani now. Hitting 167. The bunt. Neagle will have to go to first. Lockhart over to cover. And a job done well there by Kevin Tapani to move service over. Coming up, hockey. Stanley Cup playoffs. The Eastern Conference Finals. The Buffalo Sabres and the Washington Capitals. And Dominic Hasek, who is just without peer in goal. Adam Oates, and of course the big scorer, Peter Bondra for the Washington Caps. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, Tuesday on ESPN. Joe and I just had a hockey game breakout right here in the booth between innings. And slammed Joe into the boards.
It sounds like you've been talking to Mario Lemieux. He says Dominic Hasek is the best.
Well, I saw those Olympic games. I saw those Olympic games.
Well, that's why they won.
I mean, he's sort of that factor that he can do everything else beautifully, but he just might not let any goals in that night. 0-2 the count to Terrell Lowry. 1 out, 1 on, service in scoring position. It's the first time in this game that somebody's gotten into scoring position. Morandini on deck. There's that change up, and it misses. Lowry getting his first major league at bat of the year tonight in the first inning when he fouled out to right.
One thing to notice with Neagle, he never throws that change up inside and up. It's always down and away. With the fastball there, now he sets him up for another change up.
Downtown Chicago is seen from the north side here. That's our cameraman is right out there on top of the hand-operated scoreboard, the ancient hand-operated scoreboard of Wrigley Field. 1-2 to Terrell Lowry. And he jammed him with a fastball for the strikeout.
Good one right underneath the hands. Good pitching. I mean, when you watch Denny Neagle, I mean, he just has a purpose with every pitch. Look at the target from Javi Lopez.
Oh, way behind that one. That's 3 strikeouts now. This time he used the changeup to set up the fastball.
Well, he throws, and again, he doesn't make a mistake with any of the pitches. Right under the hands with the fastball.
0-1 to Mickey Morandini. Morandini's got a 10-game hitting streak going. Well, in fact, now it's 11 with his single tonight. But in those 11 games, he's had 20 hits in 40 at-bats. Quick, what's that average? 0-1 the count. Ooh.
It's good.
Yeah. Why, I'd say it's almost 500. 0-2 the count.
It's in the area.
20 for 40. I mean, you could have an 11-game hitting streak and
have 12 hits.
Yeah, and wouldn't be that impressive. When you get 20 hits in 11 games, you could mention on Sunday Night Baseball.
It's supposed to be a fastball up here. Well, he steps off. He may change. Lopez asked for the fastball up with no balls and 2 strikes.
You think that's a good call?
Yeah, well, he's got 0-2. He's thrown him a lot of breaking balls away.
This guy has hit Neagle in the past, though, Joe.
He may change now. He threw it up. Maybe he just wanted to go in with it. Javi wanted it up, and he stepped off. But then now he comes up and in with the fastball. There's a fastball. So he's thrown like 4 or 5 breaking balls away. And Morandini fouled the one off, and then he got a base hit on one. So he's trying to keep him from leaning out over the plate.
Going back to the outside again. In the dirt outside.
Isn't it interesting how when a pitcher misses up and in, or maybe even knocks a hitter down, he can always throw that next pitch outside? It's kind of interesting, isn't it? He's wild when he's coming up and in, but the next pitch, he can always get it towards the outside corner.
Well, I mean, and he threw it up and in, even though Lopez was setting a target on the outside.
That was a subtle reminder, though. I mean, you don't mind that. Look at that. Ooh.
Yes. This far outside.
Well, you watch Neagle. He thought he had it. Just watch Nagle's reaction. Well, you can see Javi pulls it back just a little bit. But you can see Nagle's reaction. He wanted that pitch.
Angel Hernandez, the home plate umpire, didn't think so. 3-2 now to Morandini. Runner at second, 2 down. No score. inside. Well, it went from 0-2. Morandini got the walk, and that keeps the inning going for Mark Grace, and he's certainly the man they want up there right now. You know, you said Neagle wanted it. Yeah. And Bobby Cox wanted it too.
Yeah.
Mark Grace. And he has been the RBI man this year. You know, he's also, we mentioned, never hit more than 16 home runs. Never had 100 RBIs in a season. But he's got 42 RBIs in the first third of this season. He's got a shot at maybe a 20-homer, 100-plus RBI year. Chance to pick up an RBI right now. 2 on, 2 out. And the curveball misses. At second base, Scott Service, who led off the inning with a single. And Mickey Morandini, who walked over at first. This Cubs ball club also, with newcomers like Morandini, Rodriguez, Blauser, as a team, they take a lot more walks than any Cub team in recent memory. Whereas Grace has always been very patient up there. He's always got a lot of walks, but they have not had many guys who will take a walk. He's had great success in spots like this. Even Sosa has taken more walks this year than in the past. He's missing tonight from the lineup with a bad thumb. The curve misses. Well, Neagle, little trouble. His former teammate, Jeff Blauser, is awaiting his turn on deck. The 2-1 count to Mark Grace, although remember, he went to 3-1 with him the first time and got it. See, the Cubs have a much higher on-base percentage this year than last. Getting a lot more walks per game than last. This year, they're 5th in the league in team on-base average, which is very good. Last year, they were 13th, next to last in the league in on-base average. 2-1 the count. 2 on, 2 out. Fastball. Grace fouled it back to the screen.
And even when Neagle gets behind, or even when you think he makes a bad pitch, it's never bad in the middle of the plate. His breaking ball, when he misses, is down. He doesn't hang any. His changeup is always down away. He doesn't leave him in the middle of the plate. His fastball, when he comes after you, is either on the inside or the outside corner.
Changeup. And Lockhart throws him out. Danny Neagle wriggles off the hook. 2 men left. But some big hitters coming up. Lockhart, then Chipper Jones, and Andres Galarraga. No score.
We dream them, we draw them.
Sunday Night Baseball continues from Wrigley Field. There has not yet been any scoring. 4th inning. Lockhart, the hitter. And the Braves have that part of the order that has been doing a lot of scoring so far. Lockhart, then Chipper Jones, and Andres Galarraga. Lockhart's been getting on base a lot. And then Chipper Jones and Galarraga have been taking care of the rest. Kevin Tampany on the mound for the Cubs. That's going to hang up and right to Lowry. Now Chipper Jones.
And let's take a look at his first at bat. He started off with a fastball. He fouled away. There's a sinker. Good sinker. Fastball away. Here, watch this ball start inside and move right back over the inside corner. That's just beautiful pitching. Everything right around the knees.
Chipper called out on strikes, 0 for 1. Tried to curve him and missed with ball 1. Galarraga on deck. No score, 4th inning. The Braves have lost 3 in a row. It is their longest losing streak of 1998. They have lost the first 2 games here in Chicago. The Cubs have not swept them in a 3-game series in this park in 9 years. And that's out of play. And also, for the first time, they're feeling a little heat from behind. As you see, Neagle versus Tampany. Each of them off to a very strong beginning in this ball game. The New York Mets have won 9 consecutive games and are only 5.5 out overall and only 3 in the loss column. 2-2 now. A very similar pitch to the one with which he struck him out looking in the first inning. Jim Riggleman. He's got problems of his own. The Cubs in a battle in the Central Division. And that's a foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Houston lost today. So the Cubs are only 2.5 out of the Central. But the Cardinals are just a couple behind them. Milwaukee's won 5 in a row. They're coming back again. A lot of teams doing well in the Central Division.
Well, he better not wait too long for the Cardinals when the Cardinals get healthy. And I think I'd see nothing but improvement for the Cardinals over the course of the season.
Well, they should get back Alan Bennis in the summer, Matt Morris sooner than Bennis. That one is hit well. Right center field. Miesky all the way back into the bleachers. A home run. Chipper Jones hits his 15th home run of the year. 1-0 Atlanta.
Well, that's why Chipper Jones is having such a great season. He pitched him very well the first time up, but this time he didn't get ahead of him. And Chipper was pretty much in control. He fell behind. He threw him a 2-1 fastball, which he fouled. Now this fastball's away, and Chipper just kind of goes out and brings it back. Watch where the pitch is. It tails away. Look at that pitch. Moving away, and Chipper goes out and gets it. I mean, you got to have a lot of strength to do that. Ball's away, and he pulls it in the right field.
Galarraga back to the screen. So Chipper Jones, 15 home runs, and that was his 47th run batted in. But he does not even lead his own team in either one of those categories. Dennis Martinez over to congratulate him.
El Presidente.
El Presidente is filling in for the injured John Smoltz while he's on the DL. And El Gato Grande at the plate right now. First player in the major leagues from Venezuela ever to win a batting title. He's a national hero in his native Venezuela. Broken back. Jeff Blauser throws out Galarraga. That's out number 2. So Tampane's thrown some pretty good pitches so far to Andres Galarraga.
Well, he's been able to jam him twice, and he's broken both of 2 bats in those first 2 appearances.
You know, Andres Galarraga, Joe, was 16 years old, and he was an overweight 16-year-old when he was signed to his first professional contract by none other than Felipe Alou. He discovered Andres Galarraga, and he says Galarraga is a special person to him because he signed him, and at the time that he signed him, everybody said, oh, he's too fat, he'll never lose that weight. Ryan Klesko and Miesky can't hang on to it. Klesko's going to try for 2. He's out. Fine throw by Miesky to recover and get Klesko, trying to stretch it into a double. 1 run for Atlanta. Blauser coming up. 1-0 Atlanta.
I have a lot of fun playing.
Cubs nothing. And Matt Miesky will be coming up second in this inning with a fine throw to nail Ryan Klesko.
Well, first he makes a great diving attempt. Just can't quite get there, but he just comes up and he fires a strike. He sees that Klesko is going right on the money, and a nice tag by Blauser. And a good play by Klesko. You know, with 2 outs, you always try to get yourself in the scoring position if you can. He tried to get there, and he was thrown out. But a good hustling play, and no one will get upset with him for that.
Jeff Blauser leads it off now. The cleanup for the Cubs tonight. And Denny Neagle gets him to foul it off. Here's that play at second base again. Listen. And no argument from Klesko there. Close play, but Blauser put the tag on it. Almost hit with that one from Neagle. 2 balls and a strike. We've got a microphone right in the base out there, Joe. Did you know that? Oh, yeah.
Well, I assumed that's where it was.
Because you want to hear everything.
Try to hear everything.
I mean, you're one of those guys who's got like 15 speakers in his video room at home.
What was interesting there, though, is Randy Marsh was the one that made the call at second base, the first base umpire, because the center field umpire, the second base umpire, had gone out to make sure of the catch. There you see Randy Marsh. He ran over from first base to make the call. They rotate in those situations.
Randy's a crew chief now. Curveball. Guillen. The dirt, but it's pulled out by Galarraga. Not many are better than Andres Galarraga at first base.
That's why they call him the Big Cat, because he's very nimble around the bag, and he helps infielders on throws like this. See that ball sinking, and picks it up.
You know, that didn't look like just one of those little quick bounces right next to the glove either. I mean, he had to Had the quick and soft hands to pull that one in. Now Matt Mieske. It's a change-up for ball one. Mieske, formerly with the Milwaukee Brewers. Hit 14 home runs with them 1 year. And he has a base hit. He's 1 for 2 in this game. Hit number 3 for the Cubs. Braves lead 1-0. Mark McGwire did not hit a home run today. I guess that is really a headline.
True. More than when he does now.
McGwire finishes up the month of May with 27 homers and 68 runs batted in. The Cardinals have played 54 games. So he is threatening not only the Babe and Roger Maris for the home run record, but right now he's threatening the RBI record. Hank Wilson's record of 190 RBIs. Going for everything right now. Alex Rodriguez from Seattle went 0 for 5 today in Tampa. 0 for 5, never reached base. And his team hit 6 home runs. Ken Griffey Jr. went deep in that one, number 19 for him. I guess you got pretty good power in the ball club. If the man who leads your league in home runs goes 0 for 5 and you score 11 runs and hit 6 homers anyway. Speaking of power, here is Henry Rodriguez. He's got 11 home runs in the first third of the season for the Cubs. 2-2. You know, the Cubs have not had a left-handed hitter driving 100 runs since 1982. That's 16 years ago. Bill Buckner was the man who did it.
I wouldn't have guessed Billy Boy.
No. I mean, you don't automatically associate with him with 100 RBIs. The last 30 home run man who was a left-handed hitter was Rick Wilkins. Out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it's almost as if, as you see, the last 30 home run man, last 100 RBI man is a left-handed hitter for them. It's almost as if ever since Billy Williams left Chicago as an active player after the 74 season, they've really never been able to replace what he gave them.
Sweet swinger. Billy's a bench coach now. He's the hitting instructor. He's been with the Cubs for a long time. There's his number, retired.
So you look at his name on one of the foul poles here to see which way the wind's blowing.
There he is.
Strike 3 call. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Got him looking. And Rodriguez seems none too happy about that call.
Well, I talked about how he keeps that changeup down. This is actually a changeup. See, he grips it, he chokes it. Changeup right on the outside corner. Look at that. I mean, that is a beautiful pitch.
2 down now, and Manny Alexander will come up. So Rodriguez, 2 strikeouts out of the 4 total for Denny Neagle. 50th time that Rodriguez has struck out this year. That's up and away for ball 1. Alexander flied out on the first pitch he saw in the second inning. Cubs had Kevin Ory, who was their regular third baseman last year, and he was struggling so terribly with the bat this year. They finally sent him down to the minor leagues to try and find his stroke. You know, Kevin Ory, since April the 10th, had hit 139 in the big leagues. It just didn't seem like it was going to get better real soon.
Well, confidence is obviously a big factor with players, and if you just get yourself in a rut and you stay there, you can remain the entire season. So I'm sure that's why they wanted to sit him down, let him go down and get his confidence back, and then bring him back.
Ory did not hit for much power as a rookie, but they really liked his glove at third base, and he did hit .275 for them. Runner going, the changeup bounced to Chipper Jones. And that ends the inning. Denny Neagle got a 3-hitter through 4 innings. Javi Lopez coming up. 1-0 Atlanta. Ball from Wrigley Field. It's the Braves 1 and the Cubs 0. Next Sunday, we'll be heading off to Fenway Park for some interleague action. Cool. Mo Vaughn and the Red Sox. And Mike Piazza, he arrived in town, and the Mets have not lost a game since then. They've won 9 in a row. And suddenly, baseball at Shea is fashionable again. The Mets and the Red Sox at Fenway Park. So Piazza will be heading into Fenway for the first time. And the wild card race, the Red Sox are leading the wild card race in the American League by 4. And right now, with the way the Yankees have sort of put a stranglehold on that American League East, the Red Sox, Blue Jays, and Orioles are all looking at that wild card race right now. Lopez, strike 2, facing Tapani to start things off in the 5th inning.
Well, we're seeing 2 pitchers with really good control tonight. I mean, they're making a lot of quality pitches, both of them.
That's a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tapani has not walked anybody. Given up 3 hits. Neagle has not walked anybody and has given up 3 hits. A little bit low on the fastball. And of course, both of these pitchers are among the active leaders in not walking anybody in the National League. Tapani 2nd, Neagle 4th among all active. And that's a foul. By the way, I misspoke. Neagle did walk Mickey Morandini, even though he had him 0-2 in the 3rd inning. I wasn't going to count that since it was 0-2, but he did walk him. All right. Field line. Miesky on the run. Miesky went into a slide to avoid becoming a part of that wall. And the fan actually came the closest to catching it. And Miesky tosses it up there for a souvenir. 2-2. Miesky's been doing a lot of running out there tonight.
And this is a foul off of another quality pitch, and you can see the fan right there trying to make the catch. He's probably got a sore arm right about now.
Well, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Catch that ball. You can't just hold your hands out there like a board. You know, you're barehanded. You put the arm, you put the hands out there, and you gotta watch Andres Galarraga. You gotta show some soft hands out there.
I'll remind you of that next time one comes in the booth.
3-2 the count. And the walk. We've got an update now. Let's go to the studio.
Thank you, John. MCI break brings us the Astros and Rockies 5-5, bottom of the 9th. Dante Bichette with a man on, and this will do it. 2-run shot wins the game, 7-5 Rockies. Bichette doing the Cubs a favor, was 3 for 5. John Joe, back to you.
All right, so the Rockies win 1. Bichette with only 5 home runs. And Larry Walker had a couple over the weekend, but it has only 7. They have not had the power. Not only missing the big power bat of Galarraga, but some of the other guys who've been providing power the last few years have not been doing much of it. Walker, of course, had some surgery in his elbow. He has some pain. Michael Tucker, the hitter, deep into left field. Rodriguez all the way back for the catch.
To see Rodriguez as he got back near the wall, he wanted to know where the wall was without taking his eyes off, so he reaches out with his left hand and tries to feel the wall so he'll know exactly where he is. You see, he definitely doesn't want to take his eyes off the ball, so he just reaches out. Now he knows he has plenty of room before he reaches the outfield wall, because once you get on the warning track, that tells you that you're near the fence. And you can see he plays it perfectly.
In this case, you reach out, and if you suddenly feel like you're in a topiary garden, you know you're near the wall. The ivy covering the walls here at Wrigley Field, put up by Bill Beck back in the 30s. Actually, his dad was running the ball club. And it has, of course, become a signature at Wrigley Field. Andrew Jones, the hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You can see Andrew has really kind of changed his stance from last year. He's a little closer to the plate, and you see them trying to keep him honest inside. he was having trouble with breaking balls away, and I think that's a good idea. You're having trouble with the breaking ball away, move a little closer to the plate. Yeah.
Base hit.
So you can cover the plate better without, and even if you clench a little bit, you're not going to pull completely off the ball. So good hitting there by Andrew.
I mean, that's all there is to it?
Well, yeah, but then you got to have good hand-eye coordination. You have to be smart enough and nervy enough to stay in there and all the other things. Now watch where this pitch is. Right out there on the edge. I mean, that is a good pitch. Watch the catcher's glove. So he reaches out and gets that ball, and that shows that he has very good plate coverage. And he didn't have as good a plate coverage before. So he's moving a little closer to the plate, which really helps him a little bit more on the breaking ball as well.
Now Denny Neagle, 2 men on, 1 man out. The Braves lead 1-0. Neagle, I think he's going to bunt. Tampany to Morandini covering. Lopez moves to third, and Andrew Jones moves to second.
Well, that's interesting in that, you know, Bobby Cox doesn't want him to hit into a double play, so he bunts him over. Now he gives Ozzie Guillen a chance to drive in 2 runs rather than giving Neagle a chance to try to drive in 1.
Here's Ozzie. He is struck out and flied out to left. So this is a very big at-bat now in this game, because the Cubs know they're not likely to score a whole lot against Denny Neagle.
Not with an earned run average of 2.82. You figure you cannot afford to give up 3 runs early in the ball game.
Now a conference out there. Service the catcher, and Blauser the shortstop. And to talk about a guy who has replaced Blauser at shortstop, at least for a few days here, while Walt Weiss, the man who on a regular basis replaced Blauser at short, Jim Riggleman.
Well, you go over the hitters, you know, in your pregame meetings and decide how you want to pitch them. So what you do is go out and just remind each other of exactly how you want to do it, so you do not have a lot of shaking off and changing of signs with runners in scoring position.
Ian has faced Tampany many times, both former American leaguers. Tampany was many years with the Minnesota Twins. In fact, he beat the Atlanta Braves in the 1991 World Series for the Twins. Game 2, pitched 2 different games in that series and won Game 2. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners at second and third, 2 down. Lopez at third. Andrew Jones, who has excellent speed, at second. A fastball is popped up foul, and this will come back out of play. Service and Manny Alexander, the third baseman, had come over, but it's well back out of play. The rooftop above the apartment in right field, that's actually from a not one of the apartments, but from Murphy's. Jim Murphy said, "You want to bring a camera up in the roof of my place? Come on over." And we'd like to thank him for giving us the opportunity. And that's the look from atop Murphy's. Ozzie showed a lot of patience laying off that pitch, Joe, because he wants to swing at that island.
There used to be a sign across the street said it was a Babe Ruth sign, the candy bar. And when I first got here, I thought that's where Babe had hit one. Hey, it said Babe Ruth.
Say he called a shot in this ballpark. Many people thought that he did. And that's out of play. 2-2 to Guillen in a World Series.
They were taunting him a lot.
And a lot of the Yankees were upset with the Cubs because the former Yankee, Mark Koenig, was their shortstop. And they heard that he wasn't going to get a full World Series share. So they were giving the Cubs a lot of grief for that. Anyway, some who were there say Frankie Crissetti, for one, was a Babe's teammate. He said it never happened. That's a liner to left field. It's hanging up, and a diving catch by Henry Rodriguez. Oh, Henry. Nice play. Robbing the Braves of 2 runs. 2 men stranded. 2-0 Atlanta.
Hello. Who is this?
What are you wearing?
Just a shirt.
1-0, and she certainly believes that O. Henry is sweet.
Well, this is the key to this is they had him played perfectly right down the line, and Henry comes in and makes the catch. Ozzie says, "How can you play me there? That ball's right down the line. That's normally a single, but they had him played perfectly."
Danny Neagle back to work now. The Scott Service, Cubs catcher, who singled his first time. Kevin Tapani will follow. We're in the last of the 5th inning. Terrell Lowry, the leadoff man, is due up 3rd in the inning. That's a pop foul. Out of play. You remember right back at the end of the 1990 season, the White Sox were playing at Fenway Park against the Red Sox. The Red Sox needed 1 out more to clinch a division title over the Toronto Blue Jays. The White Sox tried to spoil that, and I think there were a couple of men on base, and Guillen hit one down the right field line at Fenway Park, and Tom Brunansky made a headlong dive into the corner there at Fenway and caught the ball. And Guillen said after that game, said, "What was he doing playing me down there? Nobody plays me to pull the ball in the right field corner." And now here it is, Joe, 8 years later, and now he's upset because they're playing him the other way.
Asking the same question, how can you play me there?
Life is so unfair.
That's what scouting reports will do for you.
The scouts, the unsung heroes, not just scouting the opposition. So that guys like Denny Neagle go into a game figuring that they know just what to do with each hitter. Changeup is bloop foul. Galarraga comes over, but it's in amongst the spectators. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But the scouts who are out there scouring the countryside, and not just in this country any longer, but around the world for the talent. And often you'll find that the team that have the best scouts, the best player development system, are the teams that win. The Braves certainly are a case in point, because they have reworked their whole ball club these last 7 years and continued to win titles while they've done it. With guys like Javi Lopez, Chipper Jones, Ryan Klesko, Andrew Jones, coming right out of their farm system. Bobby Cox and General Manager John Schuerholz have engineered all of that. Of course, with that great foundation of pitching. But this Tuesday, teams will go out and put their hopes for the future on the line in the annual draft of free agent talent.
Hey, I wonder who's going to take J.D. Drew.
3-2 the count. There is Tucker. And Service gave him quite a battle there, but Neagle prevails.
Look at the target. Let's see how close he comes to hitting it. Moves a little bit over the plate, but it's down. See, the point is he's keeping everything down. He's not hanging any change-ups, hanging any breaking balls. He's not throwing a lot of curveballs except to left-handed hitters.
Here's Tapani. The sacrifice bunt his first time. Well, maybe J.D. Drew will just bypass the big leagues altogether, Joe, and sign on as a color commentator on ESPN. 0-2 the count to Tapani.
Well, I feel badly because I hate to see a young player like that miss out on any time of playing in the big leagues. He has already lost 1 year.
I mean, a year that he could have been learning about how to, what it's all about.
Right. I'm not saying he would have been in the big leagues, but 1 year of professional ball that would have helped him develop for his future in the big leagues.
Now, there's a rumor that that I heard that St. Louis Cardinals are considering drafting him with the 5th pick in the first round. The Phillies will have the first pick. They're not going to pick him.
Well, they can't pick him unless he gives the okay. So I'm sure that they don't want him. Don't want to pick him.
Oakland, and it sounds to me like he won't give them the okay. Right. Oakland's got the 2nd pick. It's a ball up and away, but the Athletics is that it's so critical to their future to get a real impact player that they don't perhaps want to risk going for a guy that they might not be able to sign.
I think that has to be the thinking of a lot of teams. You can't waste your draft picks because they're so important to your future in the development, especially in your farm system.
Terrell Lowry, the hitter, fouling one into the upper deck. Lowry, who just was brought up from AAA ball where he hit .295 with 8 home runs at Iowa. He is fouled out to right and he is struck out. Looks like the Phillies will take the slugger out of the University of Miami, Pat Burrell. There's that changeup. He chased it. And Denny Neagle is making it look so easy right now. 6 strikeouts. Lockhart, Chipper Jones, and Andres Galarraga coming up 1-0 Atlanta. The Atlanta Braves coming up now in the 6th inning. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. John Miller and Joe Morgan with you in our 9th season. Here is Keith Lockhart to lead it off now. Right to Grace. Tampany gets the put out, and Lockhart is 0 for 3. Chipper Jones coming up now. He homered his last time.
John, let's take a look at the bat track that he makes on this swing. Now, most of your sluggers will have a slight uppercut in their swing anyway. Mark McGuire, Ken Griffey Jr., and you see a slight uppercut there from Chipper Jones, and that was not your routine home run pitch to hit. That ball was moving away, and he reached out and brought it back.
Well, he has been in that groove this year, for sure. Chipper Jones with his best early season home run success. Now with 15. 1-1 the count, and that's too low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jones struck out looking in the first and then homered to right center in the 4th. And that's a foul out of play off to the left. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Braves have now hit 81 home runs. This is their 57th game. 81 home runs. They once had a stretch this year where they homered in every game for 25 consecutive games. A major league record. And that is a base hit. I mean, he's not just a slugger, not just a home run hitter. And that's why his batting average is up over 330. He's just a good hitter.
Yeah, because those are good pitches. I mean, that was a pitch down and away, moving away, and he did not try to pull it. He just lined it right back through the middle for a single. And watch this pitch. See the catcher's target? Now watch this. Look at the pitch moving right to that target. Moving towards the outside corner, maybe even off the outside corner. But good hitting there by Chipper because he didn't try to do too much with it.
Andres Galarraga into the 0-1. Galarraga has popped to second and grounded a short. Galarraga did some amazing things there in Denver. He's the only man on a first-year expansion team ever to win a batting title, which he did in 1993. 2 years ago, he had 50 home runs. And it might not be smart to bet against him doing it again this year. And, of course, he used to do some great things in Montreal, and his career went into decline. And he started to get it back together when he was hooked up with Don Baylor, who was then the hitting instructor in St. Louis, which you touched on earlier, Joe. Into center field. Lowry going back at the warning track.
Well, the one thing he's been able to do really well with Galarraga is get in on his hands. He jammed him a little bit with that pitch. That's why that ball didn't go out. He's been able to keep the ball on his hands. He's jammed him 3 times. He's broken 2 bats. See, watch this ball move back over the plate. Galarraga goes out there to get it, but he extends out too far, and he actually jams himself a little bit more than the pitcher did.
I think that would be a home run in Denver. What do you think?
If the one I saw Bichette hit today for the game winner was a home run, the answer is yes.
And that's ball 1 to Ryan Klesko. I mean, they say the ball travels about 9% further at that altitude than at sea level. The wind is blowing in here tonight on top of it. Runner goes. Good throw. And in with a steal is Chipper Jones.
Well, he picked the perfect pitch to go on. It was a changeup, and he steals the base easily. Chipper, pretty good jump, not a great jump, but it's a changeup, and Service has to wait on it and fires pretty good strike to second base, but Chipper's by the bag before they can tag him. Good jump there.
Blauser out in front of the bag and then lunging to his left. And there's Josette. Chipper was past him. Now Service out to talk to Tapani. You see how the Tapani covers his face with the glove while they talk. You know, and you see almost everybody doing that at the mound now. And I think Joe goes back to the '89 League Championship Series when right here at Wrigley Field, Don Zimmer went out and talked to Greg Maddux with Will Clark coming up, and Will Clark read the lips and knew what pitch was coming in. He stood in there and he launched a grand slam against Greg Maddux right here at Wrigley Field.
And it's funny because Will Clark says to me, he said, yeah, but that was before Maddux was Maddux.
But now you will most often see those pitchers will hold the glove up in front of their face. The catchers too. Glesko into left field. Henry Rodriguez. That's the inning. Fesco's 1 for 3. Mickey Morandini, Mark Grace, and Jeff Blauser coming up. The Braves lead 1-0.
DirecTV Sports is where the action is, and Channel 300 is the place to be for this month on sports. A full hour of fun, facts, opinions, and insights into the games and the names that make DirecTV the #1 choice for any sports fan. Join me, Jim Laslovic, as we go backstage at this year's NFL Draft. We'll visit with super agent of the Stars, Lee Steinberg, and we'll share the batting cage with the incredible Tony Gwynn. All this and much more on This Month on Sports, right now on Channel 300.
Coming to DirecTV, a month of non-stop entertainment and star-studded films. Academy Award-winning Kim Basinger stars in a story of crime and corruption.
I'm not afraid of you.
Sunday Night Baseball from Chicago. The Braves won, the Cubs nothing. Next Sunday we'll see you at Fenway Park. That's pretty good. Pretty good duty, Joe, if you can get it.
Yeah.
Wrigley Field 1 week, Fenway Park the next.
Exactly.
This is a dream job, isn't it?
Yeah, and some pretty good teams we're watching also.
Man, the Braves and Cubs tonight. Next week, the Mets and the Red Sox. The new Mets. The Mike Piazza Mets. The ones who were only 3 back in the loss column behind Atlanta. I mean, 3 days ago, all you could think about with the Mets was the wild card. But if the Braves do not win this game tonight, the Mets will be only 2 behind them in the loss column. They got a few games to make up. The Mets got rained out about, I don't know, twice a week there for a while. They had some doubleheaders mounted up. But those are also rainouts of games that Piazza was not yet there for. They'll have Piazza for those games now. Here's Mickey Morandini against Neagle. This could be a big inning for Neagle because these are the top Cubs hitters in the lineup tonight. Trying to get something manufactured here against Neagle. 1 strike to count. Morandini has singled and walked.
And he was ahead of Morandini 0-2 the last at bat when he did walk from an 0-2 count.
Mark Grace on deck, and then Jeff Blauser.
He's only used his curveball against Morandini and Grace. He has not thrown a lot of curveballs other than to the left-handed hitters.
Change up. In the air. Right field, Tucker. And there is one away. So that's a big man to keep off the base paths. Mark Grace coming up.
Let's take a look at Mark Grace using bat track. This was the first inning. This pitch was away from him, and he just reaches out and hits a fly ball to left field. 78 miles an hour on the bat speed. And his next speed, he had a fastball in the middle of the plate, and he tried to really let go of it, and he fouled it straight back, 87 miles an hour. Kind of tells you that, you know, the better the hitter, the more bat speeds he will give you over the course of a game because he's making adjustments to what the pitcher's doing and to adjustments to what he's trying to do with the bat or the ball in that particular at bat. I think if you're going to get an ideal bat speed for most players, it'd be a 2-0 fastball right down the middle, but pitchers very rarely do that anymore.
2-0 to Grace. Base hit, left center field. Andrew Jones will hold him to a single.
Well, there's the 2-0 fastball, but it wasn't down the middle, but he still lines it for a base hit.
But I think that was more like the 78 swing that he drove.
Yeah, that was not a turn on me swings. Well, here's the pitch. It's a 2-0 fastball, but you can see it's toward the outside corner, and Mark Grace, being a good hitter as he is, he goes the other way. You see, I'd say that was probably about 80 miles an hour right in between there someplace. That wasn't his let me take you out of here swing, and it wasn't I'm going to flip you to left swing. It was right in between there someplace.
Hit it hard. Jeff Blauser struck out and grounded a short, 0 for 2. Neagle stepping off the slab and snapping it over there, a la Cubs left-hander Terry Mulholland. Grace is the possible tying run. He has stolen 3 bases this year. Blauser at the plate, trying to do some damage against his old team. Into right center, base hit. Grace heading for third. Cut off by Guillen. Back to first goes Blauser. And the Cubs have runners at first and third with 1 out.
That is one of the few bad pitches that Denny Neagle has made in this entire ball game. This pitch is up, and Blauser's going the other way all the way, and he lines it to right field. Now watch where this pitch is supposed to be down and away. Now watch where it ends up. Right up and over the middle of the plate, that changeup. And he lines it to right center field for a base hit. You've got to give Blauser credit for good hitting there, but Mark Grace never hesitated rounding second base. And he gets over to third. Oz again cut it, trying to get Blauser rounding first, but no chance. So runners at first and third now with 1 out.
And a good throw there by Jones, hitting his cutoff man. Here is Matt Mieske. Out in the outside corner. It is 0-1. Mieske is flying out to right and singled. Either one of those results here would probably get Grace home. The fly ball was deep enough in the second. Of course, a single would certainly do the job here. 1-0 Atlanta. Both managers looking rather pensive at the moment. It's a pensive kind of a game. Nice ball off the outside.
The Braves are set up for a double play. They're not going home unless there's a chopper to third. Chipper Jones may go home, but Lockhart at second base is not as good on the double play as, say, Martin Lemke has been in the past. He's basically more offensive minded.
That's through, base hit. And Grace scores the tying run. Just a bounding ball that nobody can get to.
Well, Neagle was trying to get him to hit it on the ground. He was trying to get a ground ball for the double play to get out of the inning. But Mieske is swinging the bat well. He finds this pitch and grounds it in the hole. No chance because Guillen is shading a little bit towards second for the double play.
Now, he got the run home. You can't argue with the result. On the other hand, I mean, in that at bat, with less than 2 strikes, he's got to be looking for a pitch that he's not going to hit on the ground.
Right. But Neagle actually was trying to go farther outside. He just didn't get it away as much as he wanted.
Henry Rodriguez. Curveball for a strike. Rodriguez has struck out swinging and looking. A base hit now could put the Cubs ahead. Blauser at second base. Mieske at first base. 1-1 the score. They've had 3 consecutive singles here against Neagle. We're in the 6th inning. Cubs have 6 hits in the game now. So Grace, Blauser, and Mieske put a run on the board. One ball, 1 strike. Tried to curve him again, missed badly with it. And now Rodriguez, second on the club at home runs with 11.
Interesting confrontation here because Neagle stepped off the mound and looked back at Blauser. Remember, Blauser played with him last year, so he knows the signs in most cases. And you see Neagle saying start over again. He's trying to make sure that Blauser's not getting the signs and passing them along to Rodriguez.
Fastball on the outside, and Rodriguez didn't like the call. And perhaps Javi Lopez stole one there.
Well, it's a fastball. You see the target of Javi, and Javi kind of pulls it in a little bit.
Well, they've been going outside here to Rodriguez. And looking at a pitch out there in the 4th inning. from Maskin. Strike 3 called.
And that's the second time that he's been called out on that pitch on the outside corner. And let's take a look at the target. You see the target from Javi Lopez. And Rodriguez disagrees.
Well, he's got it. To me, Joe, he just looked at a pitch out there. Not only called out the last time on a pitch out there. I mean, with 2 strikes, he's going to have to go out and try to fight it off. Not much he can do with a pitch out there. That's into right center field by Manny Alexander. Base hit. Coming in to score is Blauser. Miesky goes to third. Cubs lead 2-1.
Another mistake, a high fastball this time to Manny Alexander, and he rips it to right field for a base hit. And I mentioned the entire ballgame how Neagle has been keeping the ball down. Even when he made mistakes, they were down, not up. And watch this pitch. Fastball up and out away over the plate, and he just lines it the other way. Here it is, fastball up and over the plate, and Manny Alexander lines it to right field. So he's gotten 2 balls up. One was a changeup to Blauser, and that was a fastball up to Alexander, and both of those pitches have hurt him here in the 6th inning.
That shot from Mastin, it looks so cool when the guy hits it. I like it, Joe. I don't know if it was your idea or not.
No, it wasn't.
But whoever idea was, I like it.
Yeah, no, I like it as well. It shows you, gives you a little different perspective. But I think to use it properly, the fans at home should watch the pitch from the pitcher's hand. Don't pick it up halfway. Watch the release out of the pitcher's hand, and you get a little better perspective.
Scott Service. Let's watch now. That's a base hit to left center field. Knocked down by Cresco. Coming in to score is Miesky. Alexander goes to third. And suddenly they're teeing off on Denny Neagle. Service drives in run number 3. 3-1 Cubs.
Now, because we had mass cam, I could not tell where that pitch was, but he reaches out and lines it. I mean, hits it sharply in the left center field. There, Braves are lucky that Klesko was able to knock it down. Pitch is supposed to be on the outside corner. You see it comes back over the plate, gets a lot of the plate, and Service serves it into left center field.
His second hit. Now Tapani, the pitcher. That's 5 hits in the inning for the Cubs, all singles. He's going to have to beat this out for it to be worth something. And he does. Alexander scores. Kevin Tapani has them on their feet at Wrigley Field. A 2-out bunt that he had to beat out. He did.
And that is just what you call a smart play, first of all, but a great execution. I mean, he places the bunt perfectly. Look at this. Neagle can't get it, and so Galarraga's got to go get it. No one else would have been able to get it. So just not only a great idea, but a great execution.
Scored as a base hit. Galarraga did juggle the ball, but
no chance.
Nobody was there.
Yeah.
Here is Lowry, the leadoff man. He is the 9th batter of the inning. They have 6 hits in the inning, all singles. And Joe, I thought, I mean, this is a rally straight out of the dead ball era. Ty Cobb would have liked this rally.
Just manufacture some runs, get the job done, move players 1, 2 bases at a time.
Leo Mazzoni out to the mound, the pitching coach, and Mike Cathert will get ready in the bullpen, the right-hander. 4 runs are in. Kevin Tapani, you know, I saw him during batting practice practicing his bunts, and he practiced that bunt in particular 3 or 4 times. Tom Gamboa, third base coach, wearing a microphone. This is him.
Oh, here we go. Beat it, beat it, beat it. Right there, right there.
I don't know. I thought I detected excitement in his voice.
Well, he said, beat it, beat it, beat it. And then he was talking to Tappan, and he said right there, he's talking to the base runner Service to stay at second base.
Lowry, 1 ball, 1 strike. to the screen. Lowry in his first chance in the big leagues at the plate this year. And he's 0 for 3 in the game. Struck out his last 2 times. And Neagle, who was on top of the situation the first 2 times through the lineup. This time through the lineup, almost everybody's had a hit against him. 1 and 2 to Lowry. The changeup, he got a piece of that one to stay alive. Lowry got into some brief action late last year with 4 hits in 14 at-bats. Joe, you were one of his favorites. He grew up in the Bay Area. Born in Oakland, California. Graduated from Oakland Tech back in 1988. At service at second. Tappany is the runner at first. 2 down, both ready to go at the crack of the bat. Changeup, and Lowry takes it off the outside. He then went to Loyola Marymount University, did Lowry.
A basketball player.
He was 5th in the nation in scoring in his junior year and 3rd in assists. Become the only player in NCAA history to place in the top 5 in both of those categories. And that one will go back out of play off to the right.
The Bulls might need him over in Chicago tonight.
He was an honorable mention All-America selection after his junior year. And a 2-time member of the All-West Coast Conference basketball team. He played only 1 year of intercollegiate baseball. He has a brother, Josh, who was a shortstop in the Phillies organization. Terrell Lowry. 2-2 to count. 2 out, 2 on. 4 in. And he is down on strikes. But the Cubs bat around. 4 runs. 6 hits. We go to the 7th inning. Lopez coming up. 4-1. The Cubs lead the Braves. The Cubs have turned this game around. Cubs 4. Atlanta 1 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. The Braves with the best record in the National League. And you compare the Braves record after 56 games with some of the greatest teams of all time. The 06 Cubs won more games than any team in history. They were 39-17. Cleveland Indians, the best record in American League history. They were 39-17. As Javi Lopez swings to the changeup. The 27 Yankees. The year Ruth hit 60, Gary hit 47. Some think the best team of all time. They were 39-17. Right where the Braves are. The Big Red Machine, the 76 Reds. 36-20, and the Braves with an even better record than the Reds had at that point of the season. And here are the Braves with a 3-game losing streak, and now the Cubs are threatening to make it 4 in a row. The question, of course, for the Braves will be to compare them after their 56-game record against some of the best teams of all time. You got to do that at about the same pace all year, not just for a couple of months. Javi Lopez has a base hit. He's 2 for 2 with a walk in this one. Michael Tucker will come up now. 4-1, the Cubs lead. Kevin Tappany, I love that bunt play. I mean, he had to beat it out. You know, I once saw Joe in 1978. It was a young player by the name of Bobby Thompson, not the Bobby Thompson. Young guy only played the big leagues for a short time. He was with Texas. Tie game, bases loaded, bottom of the ninth, 2 down, and he bunted. He was an outfielder, but he had to beat it out, or probably get sent out to the minor leagues the next day, and he did beat it out and won the game. This could be 2. Morandini, the second one. Flies to the first. 2.
Well, that was a perfectly placed double play ground ball. 1 hopper to second base. Morandini fires to second, and Blauser easily turns it over for 2. I was a little surprised Morandini was playing rather deep, but they get the ball hit sharply enough that they're able to turn it.
Now listen, try to save your voice.
Oh, yes.
It's almost 7th inning stretch time. My partner tonight is going to lead Wrigley Field as a part of the ongoing tribute to the late Harry Carey in singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
You need any help with the words, or?
Well, if I stuttered, chip in.
A 1, a 2. Let me hear you. Come on now.
What's the first word?
Take.
Okay, I got you. I can get started from there.
I don't want you to have any stage fright.
All right.
I know you used to stand in there against Koufax and Nolan Ryan, all those guys.
This will be a little different. You're right about that.
I know you went to Cincinnati, and they were upset because they lost Lee May in the trade. So for Joe Morgan, we lose Lee May? What a terrible deal. And, of course, you had confidence, and you handled that beautifully. Well, this is going to do it. They're all going to be looking up at Joe Morgan now. It's time for the 7th-inning stretch. Good luck, Joe.
Joining the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, led by Hall of Fame second baseman and current ESPN broadcaster, Joe Morgan.
Hey, let's show Harry how much we miss him. All right, a 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. So it's root for the Cubbies. Don't miss the shade. So it's 1, 2, 3. Like we're out of the old ball game. Thank you.
Hey.
This tribute to Harry Carey.
Beautiful. Beautiful. It's the best I've ever heard it.
Hey, man, I didn't do like you, though. I didn't just start them. I went ahead and sang.
You sang it.
Yeah.
Man, that was good. 3 record companies already.
Hey, let's see John. Where's John? Let me do it. Hey, let me do a draw on this.
Oh, let's hear it. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take.
Wait a minute.
I let them sing it, Joe.
Look at this.
Look at the looks on the faces there.
Look at this guy. I don't think you knew the words.
Look at the people, they're all stunned. Nobody was
John, they didn't know what you were singing. Well, John, it shows we must really like Harry Carey a lot for us to put our talents on display.
Well, and it was a doubleheader of tributes to the great Hall of Fame broadcaster, Harry Carey. And you did a much better job than I did. I have to admit.
Well, I just decided I was going to sing it.
You sang it beautifully.
Well, I was auditioning too. I mean, I may get discovered. I figured, hey, I might as well give it my best shot.
Yeah. You know, Donnie Osmond just called. Mickey Morandini flies out to shallow left center. Andrew Jones over in front of Ryan Klesko for the catch. 1 gone. Same hitters who started off the 6th-inning rally coming up again against Neagle here in the 7th inning after they batted around, scoring 4 times in the 6th inning. Well, we certainly miss Harry. His grandson, Chip Carey, is following in the footsteps of Harry, now broadcasting Cubs games on WGN. And Harry's son, Skip Carey, in the ballpark tonight as the longtime voice of the Atlanta Braves. And this was a hard weekend for Skip, I'm sure, coming back to Chicago for the first time with his dad not being here. That's a base hit for Mark Grace, his 2nd in a row. He started the 6th inning rally with a 1-out single. And he does it again here.
Well, Mark Grace, when I watch her, this is a get me a base hit swing, which is what you need, and that's what I was saying about good hitters. He's a good hitter, so he may give you 4 or 5 different bat speeds during the course of a ball game.
Now Jeff Blauser. He is 1 for 3. He fueled that 4-run 6th inning rally with a single. First base side, Galarraga. Wind carries it a bit. but he stays with it at number 2. They said that Skip Carey on Friday, Walter Payton, Sweetness, was here. He sang "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Skip Carey's comment on the Atlanta telecast was, well, they finally found somebody who sang it worse than my dad.
Well, I hope I didn't top that. But, you know, John, my fondest memories of Harry's that every time I came to the ballpark here, he was always down on the field smiling. I mean, he actually loved the players. And you can't say that. I mean, over a lot of announcers over the course of their career, they grow distant from the players because the players do change, and the players have changed. But Harry always felt the closeness to all the players, and he would always come down, say hello. And I remember that from the time I started playing to the time that he passed away.
Matt Mieske, base hit to center field.
Who is this guy?
Mieske is 3 for 4, plus a sensational defensive play.
He hit a home run in yesterday's ball game, so he's hot.
Came down the road about 90 miles from Milwaukee, and the Cubs are glad to have him.
Well, it's a low fastball. Gets a little bit more of the plate than Neagle wanted. That's pretty much down the middle of the plate, but he lines it back through the middle for a base hit. You have to give the hitter credit. The pitch was down.
Here's Henry Rodriguez, and he has struck out 3 times. The basketball game, I believe, is getting into the critical late stages, so you'll hear from time to time crowd reactions here that may not make any sense in relation to this baseball game. The people across the street out in left field keeping track of the score, and we're told there are 9 seconds to go with the Bulls leading
by 4.
So they're also joining the fans over at the United Center right here at Wrigley Field and cheering on the Bulls. Oh, there's I thought he was going to hold up the time. We need a clock on that scoreboard out there, Joe. Call that apartment building, will you?
So far, it's been a good night for Chicago fans.
There's a pop-up foul. Javi Lopez back. He's got it. And not a very good night at the plate for Henry Rodriguez. 3 strikeouts and now a foul out. 2 men left. That should do it for Denny Neagle. They'll start with a pinch hitter for him in the 8th. Cubs 4, Braves 1.
It's small, but powerful enough to bring people together who are worlds apart. Its microphone reaches down to catch your softest whispers. Its jog dial navigator makes getting in touch as easy as touching. Sony's remarkable wireless phones. Advanced technology that advances your life.
Have you seen the Elf? The Elf does its magic with advanced photo system film. Presto, it's loaded. Now take super shots in 3 different sizes. Have you seen all the Elves? From Canon.
You'll whistle too when you try Chili's Ranch Hand Filet. Slow grilled over an open flame for a bold outdoor flavor and placed on awesome blossom strings. Only at Chili's.
No, I don't need vinyl siding. This is an apartment. I can't get away from these salesmen.
I'm Jim.
Hi, Jim. This is for you. Hello. And make sure you deal with a pro, like your GMC dealer. It's closer than you think. Here, let's take a look.
Ready for the genuine article? Then come down to your GMC dealer and get 1.9% APR GMAC financing on a GMC Jimmy. So get a real deal. Come on in to see a GMC dealer near you.
Oh, no, don't get it.
Demanded better training facilities. Insisted on new uniforms and equipment. Held out for hundreds of free tickets. These guys will stop at nothing to get whatever they can for the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Major League Baseball charities and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, giving kids a world of opportunities.
Cubs 4, Atlanta 1. And we head now into the 8th inning. And Danny Neagle is lifted from the game now. Daniel Bautista is going to be used as the pinch hitter against Kevin Tapani. Trainer Dave Tumbas came out to administer to Tapani. Seemed like there was something wrong, but he apparently is okay and staying with it.
I think Tapani saw what happened to that bullpen yesterday when they were ahead of Atlanta 9-4 and almost lost.
The Braves got 4 runs in the 9th inning yesterday, and they have been struggling in their bullpen of late, as have the Braves, for that matter.
A lot of teams are struggling because they're using their bullpen so often, John, and it catches up with them.
And that's a ball. Yeah, yesterday, the Braves only got 3 innings out of their starter, Kevin Millwood. And again, you hear the reaction to what's going on in the basketball game. Bautista fouls it away.
Game's over in Chicago. The Bulls won.
And so the Bulls have won the conference and are heading to the championship against Utah. Brant Brown now in left field for the Cubs, replacing Henry Rodriguez. And Jose Hernandez now at third base in place of Manny Alexander. 2-2 the count to Bautista. Now the Cubs in their last 9 games have used their bullpen for 26 innings, about 3 innings per game average. And the bullpen has given up 28 runs in those 26 innings. And Bautista fouls one away again. 28 runs and 45 hits allowed in those 26 innings pitched by the bullpen. There is Jose Hernandez at third base.
Tell you what, Bautista swings the bat pretty well.
Down he goes. So Tapani with the strikeout.
Well, he's got a very quick bat. He chases this fastball up and out of the strike zone. Good pitch here by Tapani. And out comes Riggleman. I assume that they're going to make a pitching change.
Well, they just posted the final score of the Bulls-Pacer game on the scoreboard out in center field. And that was the reaction from the crowd here. So Tapani is lifted after the strikeout. And Bob Patterson, the left-hander, is going to be called in from the bullpen. 4-1, the Cubs are leading. We'll be right back.
DirecTV is proud to unveil C, the magazine for satellite TV. Call 1-800-496-8273 with your DirecTV account number or turn to channel 218 and order by remote.
Want to see E? Get C.
You'll get sports and pay-per-view movie schedules and the inside scoop on what's happening in the world of entertainment.
To find AMC, look in C.
Just call 1-800-496-8273 or tune to channel 218 and order with a click of your remote. DirecTV brings you the best in television entertainment. Now get the best VSS guide on the market, complete with USSD listings. Filled with exciting celebrity profiles and engaging articles, C will open your eyes.
Where are we? Look in C.
Our new annual subscription offer saves you 20% off the regular monthly price. Only $37.90 for 1 full year. Conveniently billed to your DirecTV statement. New subscribers get their first month free. Call 1-800-496-8273 or tune to channel 218.
Look and see.
C from DirecTV, your insight into the world of entertainment.
The acclaim is building. Newsweek hails Boogie Nights as the most invigorating, deeply entertaining American movie this year so far.
That shirt's pretty sexy.
Yeah, well, this is like, imported Italian nylon.
Rolling Stone says it's a chunk of movie dynamite. Roger Ebert declares it a sprawling masterpiece of a movie. Boogie Nights.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on DirecTV.
ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball is brought to you by Shell. Count on Shell. ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball. John Miller, Joe Morgan here with you. The Cubs are leading 4-1 on the top of the 8th inning. Big night for sports in Chicago. The Bulls have won their conference championship and are heading to the NBA Finals. And here at Wrigley Field, the Cubs with a chance to sweep a series from the best team in the National League, the Atlanta Braves. They have a 4-1 lead. Chipper Jones with a home run for Atlanta's only run. Denny Neagle gave up 11 hits, and all 4 of the runs scored in the 6th inning during a rally. In the first 5 innings, the Cubs held to only 3 hits, and then in the 6th, they put it together with the 4 runs and 6 hits against Neagle. Now Bob Patterson has come on for Kevin Tapani. Tapani struck out Bautista, the pinch hitter. And with the left-hander batting Guillen and another left-hander, Lockhart behind him, and the switch-hitting Chipper Jones, Riggleman is going for the lefty Patterson right here. And it's a fastball for a strike. This guy, Bob Patterson, seems like he's been around forever.
Yeah, you're right. But he does a good job of coming in and being able to get 1 or 2 hitters out, and that's his job right now.
Guillen with a pop foul. Service is back. He's got it. Guillen 0 for 4.
Well, they weren't sure that Service caught the ball, but watch, he catches it. And then he looks down as if to see if he does have it.
Look at that. They got the brooms, Joe. As the Cubs go for the sweep. Not easy to do against the Atlanta Braves. Not this year, not any year. Braves have not been swept in a 3-game series since last September when the Colorado Rockies got them. If the Cubs win the game, the Mets would be only 2 back in the loss column versus the Braves. The Mets have won 9 in a row. Things can change quickly. And Braves fans know that as well as anybody. In 1982, the Braves had what? An 11-game lead over the Dodgers, and about 12 days later, the Dodgers were tied for first with them. Of course, the Braves themselves have made some dramatic comebacks in these last few years. 1993, what was they down? 9 or 10 games at the All-Star break to the Giants, and had a ferocious second half. One of the great pennant races of recent memory. Lockhart batting, 2 down, nobody on. And it is 2-2. In the Central, the Cubs themselves looking to move up. The Astros were beaten today in Colorado. The Cubs will be only 2 back, and they can hang on to this one. They'd like to stay as far ahead of St. Louis as they can. Matt Mieske hit hard by Lockhart, but right to Mieske. So the Braves will have their biggest hitters up in the 9th inning, but right now the Cubs lead 4-1.
Meet Emily Lewis, road warrior. She never slows down, except for a pit stop. And a pit stop. And a pit stop. Fortunately, Emily's diapers are held together thanks in part to polymers made by Shell. The same stuff works to keep the diapers of millions of other kids safe and snug, while keeping millions of parents sane. Count on Shell.
The nest is empty. Your work is done.
So powerful.
It's time to kick back and have some fun.
So agile.
You've got the car now.
DeVille with the North Star system.
For who you are now, you're making whoopee.
DeVille for the time of your life.
Oh, look at you.
In the soul of every Bridgestone Potenza lie the twists and turns of the legendary Formula One Grand Prix courses of the world. Using a tapered tread element derived from the Potenza F1 Racing Rain Tire, the Potenza RE910 Street Tire handles the road wet or dry. Bridgestone Potenza with Unity, technology-driven performance with the soul of Formula One. Get a limited edition Formula One watch free with the purchase of 4 selected Bridgestone tires.
Play Play Pepsi Pop Culture. Just match words to make phrases and win tons of cool prizes. Look for game boards in 12 and 24 packs of Pepsi and Mountain Dew. And win cash, trips, even a new Jeep Wrangler. Pepsi Pop Culture. Drink, match, win.
Animals and the Caps have won 3 straight. Now, they stay back home where the Sabres will fight to force Game 6. Sabres Capitals, Tuesday night at 7:30 on ESPN.
Wrigley Field. Cubs lead 4-1 over the Braves. The Cubs trying to do something that they have not done in 9 years, which is to sweep the Braves in a 3-game series here at Wrigley. Of course, 1989 was one of those great years in Cubs history when they won the division title and went to the playoffs against the Giants. Mike Cather, the new Atlanta pitcher, and Jose Hernandez up for the first time in the game has a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Jose Hernandez hitting .231 with 5 homers in 104 at-bats. Hernandez came on as a defensive replacement for Manny Alexander in the top half of this inning. There's the ball low. 2-1. Mike Cather, who once pitched in the College World Series for the Golden Bears of Cal Berkeley back in 1992. Chipper Jones. And there is 1 away. Now let's go to Brian Kenny for an update.
It's a split in the Bronx, fellas. Red Sox and Yankees. Bases loaded for Nomar Garciaparra, and this is going to do a little bit of damage. Double that drives in 2. Starts an 11-run 3rd inning for the Sox. Nomar 3 for 6. Boston wins it 13-7. John, Joe.
All right, and we'll be seeing the Red Sox ourselves next Sunday night at Fenway Park. Scott Service takes a ball from Cather. Service is 2 for 3 with an RBI. He drove in the 3rd run in that 4-run 6th inning rally against Denny Neagle. The shortstop, Ozzie Guillen. 2 men gone. The New York Mets with their 9-game winning streak. Since the acquisition of their new catcher, Mike Piazza, they've been unbeatable. Piazza and the Mets at Fenway Park against Mo Vaughn, Nomar Garciaparra, and the Boston Red Sox. 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. We hope you'll join us then. Interleague play. Yeah. Sports Center is next. Stay tuned. And now a pinch hitter, Derek White. And the veteran closer, Rod Beck, he is warming up in the bullpen for the Cubs, even though he has worked 4 consecutive days. Jim Riggleman said before the game he would ask Rod how he feels, and he says, if Rod says, I feel fine, I can go. He said, although he'd still like to give him, he'd prefer to give him the day off, he just might use him. So Beck apparently feels fine. He's worked every day since Wednesday and has had a couple of blown saves in there. Yeah, maybe one of the reasons he wants to get back out there right away. You like to turn those negative streaks around. 1-2 to Derek White. 2-2. Pinch hitting for Bob Patterson. And White goes down, so that's the inning. So the Braves will have their biggest sluggers coming up now against the veteran closer Rod Beck, Chipper Jones, Andres Galarraga, Ryan Presko. It's 4-1 Cubs.
This is life. This is getting every mile you can out of life. And this is how you get there. Kelly Charger high-performance tires are engineered for long mileage. Of course, that's no guarantee you'll live harder or go farther. Just an invitation.
Let me tell you something about heroes. They ain't like you and me. Look at Drippy. The way he taps the spikes and grows the tee, punches the glove and the lid, ties the hat, eats the dirt, and twirls the lumber. Warms it up and works the crowd. The way he holds the pose, slams the wall, anticipates, and always thanks his mother. Let me tell you about guys like him. They ain't just playing stick.
This is Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr. with Reality Bat for Infinite Swings. It's only on N64, only on Nintendo Sports.
People, the millions of AutoZone customers who change their own oil. They're the kind of folks who believe that taking care of their car and saving money go hand in hand. And while we admire their willingness to tackle a dirty job, most of all, we thank them for bringing their used oil back to us. After all, used motor oil should be recycled, and that's one job we simply can't do alone.
There's the veteran, 29-year-old Rod Beck. 14 saves for the year. Facing Chipper Jones to start it off. And it is 0-1.
Well, Rod Beck has struggled a little lately, John, but the mentality of a reliever has to be, they got me today, I'll get them tomorrow. I think Raleigh Finger said it best. Sometimes you tame the tiger, sometimes he has you for lunch. But in any case, you have to keep going. And the next time you go out there, you have to feel like you're going to get back on track.
Well, Beck expressed some reservations about being pulled from the save situation yesterday. Just missing in the inside. The Cubs had a 9-4 lead going into the ninth inning, and Beck came on inheriting some trouble as we get another look at how close that pitch was. Strike three call. Beck always has had superb control.
Well, the toughness that he has, I think, is the important thing. To bounce back after you have had some problems.
One gone. Here's Galarraga. 0 for 3 in the game. But Beck ended up being pulled from the game with the bases loaded yesterday, with a couple of men on, and it was a one-run game. And Ryan Klesko coming up, and Bob Patterson was brought in by Jim Riggleman. He said, hey, Beck's still my closer, but I just like the matchup a little better at that point. Beck blew a save here Thursday to the Phillies, and Galarraga hits a soaring shot deep into the Chicago night and onto the streets of Chicago. Wow! What a blast by the big cat.
I don't think he actually needed Colorado for that one, did he? That ballpark. That's a long drive in the left center field. But Rod Beck is okay because he still has a 2-run lead.
And Beck has said that
high fastball out over the plate, and Andres gets all of this one.
And that's just an incredible shot. Here is Klesko. But Beck will not bemoan giving up a solo homer with a 3-run lead. The main thing is he'd rather not walk a guy or get behind a guy. He'll take that risk right now.
Sounds stupid, John, or simple to say, but it takes 3 solo homers to tie the ball game. So his point is to keep everyone off the base and not give them up a 2-run homer or a 3-run homer to tie. You just want to make sure that they have to hit 3 solo homers.
2-1 to Klesko. Beck gave up a home run to Curtis Pride here Friday in the ninth inning with a 1-run lead. It cost him a save, although the Cubs came back to win the game in extra innings. Mark Grace took a tough hop, and he played it beautifully. Beck with a put-out. 2 down.
That was a nice play because that ball was hit sharply in the hole, and Mark Grace, one of the better fielding first basemen in the league, takes it on the tough hop. Now, see, off the line a little bit. This ball is hit sharply in the hole. He moved quickly, got a great jump on it, and fielded that tough hop, and led Beck perfectly to the bag. You know, when you look back at the ball Galarraga hit, he's the only one, in my opinion, that can rival Mark McGwire as far as the distance.
Javi Lopez, 2 for 2 with a walk. Strike. The curveball over the inside. Everybody at Wrigley Field on their feet now, hoping that this will be the moment with which the Cubs complete their sweep of the first place Atlanta Braves. Check swing. 1 ball and 1 strike. They've played the Braves, it seems like, forever. I mean, 7 times they've played each other in the last 10 days. And they looked at this as a real benchmark for them this year. A test for how good they really were. Mark Grace comes over. And it's just back out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count to Javi Lopez. 2 down, a run in. We're in the 9th inning. It's 4-2. The Cubs are leading. If they can get this sweep here, they'll have won 4 of the 7 games with the Braves in the last 10 days. 2-2. Michael Tucker would be next. 2-2 to Beck. From Beck, that one is hit high in the air to left field, right to Brant Brown. And the Cubs have swept the Atlanta Braves. A night to savor for the sports fans here in Chicago. The Bulls win their conference final against Indiana. The Cubs on the same night complete a sweep of the mighty Atlanta Braves. And we'll be back with a wrap-up. When it comes to running a car, there's rigged up sweeping the Atlanta Braves 4-2. But they scored tonight to get the sweep, their first 3-game series sweep with the Braves in this ballpark in 9 years, since a great year in Cubs history, 1989. And they've taken 4 out of 7 from Atlanta the last 10 days, Joe. How did the Cubs do in this test against the National League's best?
Well, when they look at it, they said, we'll be able to tell how good we match up against the best team in the league. And they've taken the 3 straight here in Chicago with good pitching and timely hitting. They showed a little bit of everything, plus good defense. So very good show by the Cubs over the last 3 days.
Tapani wins his 7th. Beck with his 15th save. Neagle takes the loss. Next Sunday, we'll be at Fenway Park. Mo Vaughn and the Boston Red Sox against Mike Piazza and the red-hot Mets, who are now just 2 back in the loss column to the Braves in the National League Eastern Division. We'll see you then. John Miller for Joe Morgan. Thanks for joining us. Good night from Wrigley Field, Chicago. Sports Center coming up next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.